When I last made my Theater of Light video, I got a lot of recommendations to play Blackmagic 2, a game famous for how complicated it is. So I went and checked it out, and holy crap, it made me go insane. But something about it surprised me, and I said I would be lying to you if I said that I didn't absolutely love that insanity. Blackmagic 2 is a fairly old Roblox fighting game that has a sort of unique style of combat, which is more reminiscent of those 2D fighting games with difficult combos, instead of the standard 4-in-1 games on Roblox. You know, the type like Street Fighter or JoJo Heritage for the Future. It has a lot of very complicated mechanics that are really tough to learn, and it's part of its unique charm. Before we continue on with the video though, there's something I want to share with all of you who play fighting games, and it's about lag. See, lag is a thing that might not be a problem for everyone, but is a huge issue if you do have it, especially in games like this where combos require strict execution and timing. If you lag while doing a combo, you miss out on huge amounts of damage, and can even get comboed by your opponent in return. Same thing for if you lag in neutral or at any other time in a fight. And that's where GearUp comes in, because with GearUp, you can reduce your lag by a ton. GearUp Booster is a program that lets you reduce lag and keep a stable connection while playing, so you can finally pull off the combos you see in those YouTube guides. GearUp Booster is latency free, meaning that if you normally have 100 ping, GearUp will give you 50, optimizing things for people suffering from bad network. It also keeps things stable so that you can stop lag spiking at the worst times, like when you've landed a hit and are about to do a combo. It's also fairly easy to use and only requires one click for you to boost your game. Also, not just PC users can use it, because there's an app for mobile users to join in as well. I tested it myself, and before using it, I was around 100 to 120 ping. After turning it on, it dropped slightly to about 90 ping, and it stayed there pretty consistently. Now, if you already have good Wi-Fi, then you'll probably get less of a ping drop down than someone with awful McDonald's Wi-Fi. But I definitely recommend it if you're fighting your internet connection alongside your opponent. And if you do end up trying this product, let me know in the comments how much it made your ping go down. GearUp might not be able to fix your skill issue in video games, but it will fix your internet connection so that you can pull off insanely difficult but stylish combos. Thanks to GearUp for boosting my internet connection and sponsoring my channel so I can play these Roblox games. And check it out with the link in the description. Alright, back to the video. When first entering Blackmagic 2, you're given the option to take a tutorial that teaches you how the game works. There's a basic and an advanced tutorial, which is such a great thing, and both tutorials explain things pretty well, or at the very least, I understood it all. However, just because the tutorials are decent, doesn't mean that things aren't complicated. For example, dash. You can press V to dash forward or backward, and if you press it in the air, you do an air dash. That can also be modified by holding F or G when you do it. If you hold V while on the ground, you start sprinting after you dash. A little complicated for just a movement mechanic. Not just that, but there's also some complications with doing block too. Your regular block is done by pressing B, and it'll block any moves that don't specifically break the regular block, which are called crushes. However, if you hold S while blocking, you brace instead, which can block crushes but will get bypassed by moves called sweeps. Then there's grabs, which will bypass both block and brace, but can be dodged by pressing spacebar. That's not all though, because if you press Q while blocking, you can consume a quarter of a bar of heat, another mechanic in the game, to activate focus defense, which will either push your opponent back, absorb some of their heat, or stun them. Now let's compare this block to a game like The Strongest Battlegrounds, a much simpler game where block is quite literally, well, just a block. If you hold it, you negate any attacks that don't bypass block, and if an attack goes behind your back, it'll bypass your block too. There's a pretty noticeable difference in how complicated it all is, and holy crap, Blackmagic's 2 mechanics require a lot of reading and practice to fully grasp. I won't touch on every mechanic in this game, because then this would just be a tutorial rather than a review. But yeah, it's insane. Then there's the classes. Blackmagic 2 has a decently large character roster of 7 characters, all of which have their own unique movesets and abilities. The key word there being unique. Not all characters have the same basic attacks or auto combos, as they're called in this game, and they all have 8 different specials that all accomplish a different purpose. The role they serve is also different, with some focusing on zoning, and others focusing on rushdown. For example, there's Kurai, who I decided to main, which basically has very fast attacks, but a lot of end lag on them, making him pretty punishable if you screw up. There's also Avalon, who can zone and rush down with their moves, and even Citadel, who can set up gems all over the place. I won't pretend I understood even half of it, and it's also ridiculously tough to learn each and every class, in a good way. All the characters have such unique abilities that make it difficult to know what combos into what, and how everything works. Just look at this move list and all of these combos. It's crazy. Unlike stuff like Sorcerer Battlegrounds, where all the moves usually combo into either your M1s or a down slam / uppercut, you need to know what specials combo into what, and how you can make the longest combo string. I feel a lot of that difficulty comes from the fact that you can't reset your basic auto combos like you can in most Battleground games. Once you've done those series of hits, they're gone, and you're left to extend with whatever else you have, making it pretty tough to comprehend. Think of it like puzzle pieces. In your normal fighting game, it goes like this. You have 4 M1s, and your goal is to use a move that resets them as many times as you can, until you run out of those moves. In which case, you either use some combo finisher move, or your final M1. Blackmagic 2, on the other hand, throws a bunch of stuff at you, and it's up to you to figure out what it does so that you can make the best combo. There's no template like in Sorcerer's Battlegrounds, and you're not allowed to use a piece twice, so it makes it ridiculously hard to figure out how everything works. Like, I know I can combo extend with SP1, but if I've already used up all my light auto combos, then what can I do? Heavy auto combo. But after that, what's next? Well, launcher can work, so I'll use that instead. And now that I'm in the air, I have my aerial auto combos to work with. But after that, I need something else. And in that case, SP3, with the end lag cancelled by breakthrough, should work. Then I can use my guard break, and then finally use 5 to wrap it up. However, the order of all of this can be changed willy-nilly because there's so much freedom with your combos. And that's what I love about this game. Even though I'm awful at it, even though I have no idea how to do the most optimal combos without looking up a YouTube video, there's so many complex mechanics to it that, while challenging at first, make it so rewarding to learn it all. I never feel any real reward for figuring out how to combo in Sorcerer's Battlegrounds because there's no real learning curve. Everything is categorized from the very beginning into an M1 combo extender, a down slam combo extender, or a combo finisher. Sure, it's easy for me to learn, but because it's all placed in my hands, it feels very boring. Then there's Blackmagic 2, where you can lab out all sorts of crazy stuff, and feel good after you figure out a new combo. And that's beautiful, honestly. I want more games like this that force players to think, even if it drives me insane. But that isn't what Roblox wants. Most players are young, and anything of this complexity is just too much of a hassle for them to learn. So it's easier to go and play games with these built-in templates for combos. Now, I'm aware that these games have text to increase the skill ceiling, but for most games on Roblox, the overall skill floor is incredibly low. It could take me hours to become great at Blackmagic 2, but I get the reward of knowing that I'm getting better as I learn more combos and figure out how to play. Meanwhile, with Sorcerer Battlegrounds, it only takes me 5 minutes of seeing what my chosen character does to become good at the game. I might have been getting massacred by good players all the time while I was playing Blackmagic 2, but in that process, I felt myself getting better and better, and that feels rewarding. For me, there's no reward in doing a combo given to you on a silver platter, but there's plenty in figuring out a combo when given a bunch of different puzzle pieces. It's like the difference in fun between solving a puzzle yourself and having someone else do it for you. And that's why I love Blackmagic 2, despite its complexity driving me insane while trying to learn it. Now, let's wrap this video up since I'm done yapping. Blackmagic 2 is one of the most complicated fighting games on Roblox, and it's part of an era that's long been left behind by most Roblox players. It's an absolute blast to learn the game, and despite its vertical learning curve, I'm still going to praise it for creating a high-skill fighting game that rewards you for practicing your character and how to use them. The link to this game will be in the description as always, and I encourage you to check it out. That's all from me. I'm Noob Eternally, and have a good day. Bye.